You are not hearing this because you are desperate for someone to arrive. You are hearing it because the preparation is almost complete. God has been removing your attraction to confusion. He has been sharpening your discernment. He has been teaching you to stop chasing what requires you to abandon yourself. While that work was happening inside you, God was preparing another person from the opposite direction. You may not know their face, you may not know their name, but the meeting has been shaped by lessons, endings, and quiet changes neither of you understood. Chosen one, understand this before this meeting occurs. Divine arrangements do not always enter your life with drama. Sometimes they arrive so peacefully that an unhealed mind mistakes them for something ordinary. Sometimes the answer feels quieter than the wound you once called love. This message is not only about romance. The person coming may be a partner, a friend, a mentor, or someone connected to your next assignment. Their role will become clear through what the meeting produces. You will not need to force the meaning. Stay close, because you will learn why the delay protected you. You will see 3 signs that separate a God-arranged meeting from another repetition of your past, and you will discover the pattern that could cause you to overlook what God may already be placing before you. Right, I recognize the preparation if you know waiting has changed you. Something has changed inside you. You may not have named it yet. You may have mistaken it for distance. But the truth is simpler. You are no longer willing to carry every connection alone. You notice what happens after the promise. You notice who remembers small details. You notice who only appears when they need comfort, attention, or rescue. This is the quiet detachment. It is not bitterness. It is not coldness. It is the moment your spirit stops, begging your wounds to feel chosen. Loneliness does not automatically make you lower your standards. You may have seen this recently. Someone returned with the same energy that once controlled your attention. In the past, you would have answered quickly. You would have searched every word for hidden meaning. This time, something in you stayed still. You may have felt sad afterward, but beneath the sadness, there was relief. That relief was evidence that you no longer wanted to survive the same story. God has also been reducing the noise around you. Certain rooms feel too loud now. Certain conversations leave you empty. Certain habits no longer fit the person you are becoming. What once felt normal now feels heavy. This is not rejection. It is refinement. God is making space around your attention because the next season requires more accurate listening. You cannot recognize a quiet answer while constantly returning to familiar confusion. You now value small consistency more than dramatic promises. A calm conversation feels more valuable than emotional intensity. That change is preparation. You are learning that safety can be honest without being boring. You are learning that peace can hold depth. You are learning that love does not need to keep you guessing before it feels meaningful. But some spiritually sensitive people still miss what is directly before them. They sense that something matters, yet they cannot connect the details clearly. Their intuition speaks, but overthinking breaks the message into pieces. Research into the divided functions of the brain revealed that different sides can process experience differently. The value is not choosing one side. It is helping both sides work together, so details and meaning can meet. Later, you will hear about a simple method designed around that idea. It does not create a divine meeting. It does not replace prayer or wisdom. It may support the clarity needed to notice patterns and respond without panic. So ask yourself this: what if God has placed clues around you, but your mind has been too crowded to connect them? The answer begins with what you lost. One ending you still question may be the clearest evidence that this meeting has been protected. The loss you still question may not have been a denial. It may have been mercy. You only saw the empty space they left behind. This is the mercy of misalignment. Two people can exist at the same time and still be unable to meet in the right way. One heart may be ready for honesty, while the other is still loyal to survival. You were not ready before. That does not mean you were unworthy. It means you still confused being needed with being loved. You felt valuable when someone depended on your strength, your patience, or your ability to keep everything together. So you became the rescuer. You carried emotions that were never yours. You stayed because leaving felt like failure. And when someone gave you less than you deserved, you worked harder to prove that your love could change them. If the right person had arrived then, you may not have known how to receive them. Their consistency could have felt unfamiliar. Their respect could have felt distant. You might have ignored peace because chaos was the language your body understood. There was another reason for the delay. You once confused activation with connection. A late reply could control your entire day. A warm message could erase every warning. You called the tension chemistry because you had never been taught how safety feels. But God was teaching you a different language. He was showing you that love does not need to make you anxious before it becomes meaningful. He was showing you that clarity is not boring, and consistency is not a lack of passion. You also needed the ability to keep what you prayed for. Receiving is not the same as sustaining. A good person can enter your life, but fear can still test them, push them away, or demand constant proof that they will stay. God was not only preparing the gift, He was preparing your capacity to hold it without abandoning yourself. That work required honesty. It required the courage to stop calling self-betrayal loyalty. Hear this clearly. I did not deny you the meeting. I protected it until you could enter without abandoning yourself. That is why some doors closed without explanation. That is why certain people could not follow you. The ending was painful, but the pattern attached to it would have cost you far more years. The delay protected your future from your former survival habits. It gave you time to separate love from rescue, peace from boredom, and intuition from fear. It also gave the other person time to face what they could no longer carry. Right? The delay protected me, if you are ready to stop calling protection rejection. Because while God was changing you, He was not leaving the other person untouched. On the opposite side of this meeting, another preparation was unfolding in silence. While God was teaching you to hold your boundaries, He was teaching someone else to respect them. While you were learning not to chase, they were learning how to show up. While you were releasing the past, they were being separated from what could not follow them into their next season. This is parallel preparation. It happens quietly. You rarely see the other side of it. You only feel the changes taking place within you, but God can shape two paths long before those paths cross. You learned how to speak without apologizing for your needs. They may be learning how to listen without becoming defensive. You learned that love cannot survive on potential alone. They may be learning that consistency matters more than impressive words. You learned to stop rescuing people who refuse to grow. They may be learning to take responsibility for their own healing. You learned that boundaries do not destroy healthy love. They may be discovering that commitment does not require losing themselves. This does not mean both of you will arrive as perfect people. Perfection is not the requirement. Readiness means both people can tell the truth, receive correction, and remain present when connection becomes real. The person coming may not be a romantic partner. They may be a friend. They may be a mentor, a collaborator, or someone connected to a door you could not open alone. Their role will be revealed by what begins to grow after the meeting. You may notice a strange sense of recognition. The conversation may feel easier than expected. Details from your separate lives may connect in ways neither of you planned, and shared values may become visible before either person understands the purpose. Do not rush to call that feeling destiny. Let time reveal its meaning. A God-arranged connection does not fear observation. It can survive questions, patience, and the slow confirmation of consistent behavior. Maybe you are thinking that you have waited too long. You count the years. You remember every disappointment. But time is not only measured by how long you waited, it is also measured by the lessons you no longer need to repeat. One right delay can save you from many wrong years. One season of preparation can protect you from entering another bond that drains your calling. The wait was not empty when it taught you how to recognize what can remain. And this is where discernment becomes essential. Not everyone who arrives at the right moment was sent to stay. Some connections appear meaningful because they resemble your past, and one of them can feel more like destiny than the real thing. The first false connection is the familiar wound. It feels powerful because your body recognizes the pattern. The person may be different, but the emotional rhythm is the same. You wait, wonder, and work for affection that should never require a performance. Familiarity can feel spiritual when it reaches an old need. You may say that you have known this person forever, but sometimes you are not recognizing destiny. You are recognizing the same uncertainty that shaped your earliest ideas about love. The second false connection is the urgency bond. Everything moves too quickly. Promises arrive before evidence. The other person pressures you to decide, commit, or sacrifice before trust has time to form. Divine timing does not control you through fear. What is healthy can tolerate a thoughtful answer. It can survive a boundary. It does not insist that hesitation means you are losing the opportunity of a lifetime. The third false connection is the rescue assignment. You see their pain, and compassion awakens. Then, compassion becomes responsibility. You begin believing that your love, patience, or spiritual strength must save them from choices they refuse to change. God may let you see someone clearly without asking you to remain attached. Seeing a wound is not always an invitation to carry it. Understanding their pain does not make you responsible for absorbing the consequences. This is the breakthrough. Discernment is not only asking, "Do I feel something?" Discernment asks, "What does this connection consistently produce in me?" Does it make you clearer or more confused? Can you remain yourself, or must you perform to keep their attention? Do their actions agree with their words? Does the connection respect what God is building in your life? These questions protect you from turning intensity into evidence. A powerful feeling can be real without being a command. Attraction can reveal desire, but only character and time reveal whether a relationship can safely hold it. Think of a connection that kept you guessing. Notice what happens in your body when you remember the waiting, chasing, and fear of being replaced. Now imagine clear communication, respected boundaries, and a heart opening without panic. Say, "God, make me clear." Do not ask only for someone to arrive. Ask for the wisdom to recognize what their presence produces. Ask for the courage to walk away when something only imitates what you prayed to receive. Because the clearest sign of a God-arranged meeting is not overwhelming intensity. It is something people raised in emotional chaos often overlook. It can feel so unfamiliar that they mistake it for a lack of chemistry. Before that final sign, you need two earlier signs. They reveal whether a connection can support the person God has prepared you to become. The first sign is simple. You do not have to become smaller to remain connected. You do not hide your depth. You do not soften every truth. You do not apologize for the vision, sensitivity, or purpose God has placed within you. The right person may not understand every part of you at once, but they will approach what they do not understand with respect. They will ask instead of mocking. They will listen instead of turning your vulnerability into a weapon. You will notice this in small moments. They remember details that matter to you. They make room for your voice. They do not compete with your growth, and they do not require you to weaken your calling so they can feel secure. This does not mean they agree with everything you say. Healthy connection still includes questions and differences, but disagreement will not force you to betray yourself just to preserve the bond. The second sign is ordered expansion. The connection does not pull you away from your life. It strengthens your desire to care for it. You become more responsible, more present, and more willing to honor what God has already placed in your hands. After speaking with this person, you do not lose your direction. You feel invited to grow. Your work still matters. Your health still matters. Your family and commitments do not become obstacles that must be destroyed to prove the connection is special. This is not chaos. It is clarity. This is not obsession. It is direction. This is not possession. It is partnership. This is not escape. It is expansion. A God-arranged connection does not demand that you burn down everything good before trust has formed. It can enter your life with patience, and it can develop without turning every responsibility into an enemy. Still, no voice outside you can confirm that a specific person was sent by God. This message cannot make that decision for you. You must observe behavior, test the fruit, allow time, and remain honest about what is happening. Do not build a future from one beautiful conversation. Do not ignore warning signs because the timing feels meaningful. A healthy bond becomes clearer through consistency, while manipulation often becomes weaker when it is denied speed. Watch what happens when you say no. Watch what happens when you need time. Watch whether kindness remains when the other person does not immediately receive what they want. These two signs create a foundation. You can remain yourself, and the connection helps your life expand with order. But the third sign is the one wounded people misunderstand most often. It does not always feel exciting at first. It may not produce the emotional rush you once called chemistry. Instead, something inside you becomes quiet. And that quiet can feel suspicious when your body has been trained to expect a storm. The third sign is an unusual peace. It does not feel empty. It feels steady. Your mind does not race to decode every word, and your body does not prepare for abandonment after every moment of silence. This is the peace you almost misread. Pain trained you to expect a storm. So when someone communicates clearly, keeps their word, and does not pull you into emotional confusion, part of you may wonder where the chemistry went. But chemistry built on fear is not connection. It is activation. It is the old pattern, asking for another chance to control you. A healthy bond can feel quieter because your nervous system is no longer being forced into survival. You still feel interest. You still feel curiosity, but you can think clearly. You do not lose your direction. You do not check your phone constantly, and you do not invent meanings for a simple delay. When disagreement appears, it does not become a threat. You can ask questions, you can take time, you can remain honest without fearing that one difficult conversation will destroy everything. This peace is not proof by itself. It must still be joined with character and time. But when those things are present, calm may be the confirmation you once expected as intensity. Hear this clearly. Do not reject peace simply because pain taught you to expect a storm. Discernment is not only a spiritual feeling, it also depends on your ability to connect details, memories, emotions, and present behavior. When your mind is overloaded, you can notice every clue and still fail to understand the pattern. That is how red flags get explained away. That is how small acts of consistency go unseen. One part of you senses the truth, while another part argues with it because the truth does not resemble what you learned before. Earlier, I mentioned research into the divided functions of the brain. Different sides can process details and the larger picture in different ways. The goal is not to make one side stronger than the other. The goal is coordination. When both sides communicate more effectively, analysis and intuition can support each other. You can observe what happened, understand what it means, and choose without letting panic write the conclusion. This matters because a God-arranged meeting may look ordinary at first. It may begin with one calm conversation. It may arrive without drama, and only a clear mind will notice how the details continue to align over time. The quiet is not always absence. Sometimes the quiet is safety. Sometimes it is the first sign that your future no longer needs to feel like your past. Now, the open loops can close. The delay happened because you had to stop mistaking chaos for love. Both sides needed preparation because the right people can still meet at the wrong time. You will recognize the meeting through what it produces. There will be peace without passivity. You will remain yourself, and the connection will help your life expand with order. God arranging a meeting does not remove your responsibility to observe. Faith does not require blindness. You still need time, evidence, and wise boundaries. This is where many chosen ones become confused. They wait for one overwhelming sign. But discernment often grows through small details that agree over time. Release the old pattern now. Release the need to chase. Release the belief that uncertainty makes a bond valuable. Release the habit of calling self-abandonment loyalty. Right. I release the old pattern. Imagine placing an old key on the ground. That key opened doors built from fear and emotional hunger. It cannot open the door connected to your next season. You do not need to carry an old method into a new meeting. You can enter with prayer, observation, and clarity. You can receive without rushing, and you can walk away without doubting your worth. But what happens when brain fog keeps breaking your attention apart? What happens when intuition speaks, but overthinking interrupts before the message becomes clear? You can be spiritually ready while your thinking still feels scattered. No tool can choose for you. No sound can replace prayer, character, or wise counsel. Yet there is a practical method designed to support clearer coordination between the two sides of the brain. It takes 8 minutes a day. It was created around the idea of whole brain activation, and it is meant to support focus, pattern recognition, and clearer decision-making. The method is called the genius switch. In the next moment, you will hear what it is, how it is used, and why it is different from the audio methods many people have already tried. The genius switch is not a way to summon a person. It does not replace prayer. It does not make choices for you. It is a digital audio sequence for people who still feel mentally scattered after doing serious inner work. You may know that feeling. You lose a word during a sentence. You sense that something matters, but you cannot connect the details. You overthink simple decisions, and the answer becomes less clear the longer you search. According to the product information, the Genius Switch was presented by Doctor Daniel Barone, a neurologist in New York City. The audio uses what the creator calls neural sync technology, with the goal of supporting whole brain activation. The idea is connected to split brain research associated with Doctor Roger Sperry. That work helped show that the two hemispheres can process information differently and that coordination matters when details must become a complete picture. The Nobel Prize belongs to that research history. It does not belong to this audio product. That distinction matters because trust requires accuracy. The Genius Switch is described as an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. You put on headphones, close your eyes, relax, and listen once each day. You do not need a mantra or a complicated meditation routine. This is not presented as a brainwave track. The product separates itself from common audio methods many people have already tried. Its stated focus is neural synchronization and whole brain coordination. Why could that matter here? A divine meeting still asks you to notice behavior. You must remember what was said, compare it with what happened, see the larger pattern, and choose without letting fear control the meaning. The purpose is not to force an outcome. It is to support the condition of the receiver. A clearer mind may help you enter a conversation with more presence, notice inconsistencies, and act from observation instead of panic. Users described clearer thinking, better problem solving, and a stronger sense of participating in life. These stories are examples, not promises. 8 minutes is the daily listening time. It is not a promise that every problem disappears immediately. The product says this method differs from common audio tracks because its focus is coordination between the hemispheres. The current product information lists the price as $39. It also lists lifetime access, digital delivery by email, and a full money-back guarantee under the terms on the sales page. The purchase includes 4 digital bonuses. They are a guided visualization, a smart grocery shopping guide, a classic manifestation book, and an infographic covering 5 habits connected to an ideal future. If 8 minutes a day feels realistic, read the full information through the link in the description or pinned comment. Review the guarantee terms, consider the claims carefully, and decide whether the protocol fits your needs. This is not for someone seeking a shortcut around wisdom. It is for the chosen one who has already begun changing, but still wants practical support for focus, pattern recognition, and clearer decisions. The price may change, so check the current details. Do not buy from pressure. Buy only after you understand what is included and what the product does not promise. The genius switch cannot arrange the meeting. But if mental fog keeps you from connecting what you see, feel, and know, this 8-minute practice may offer structured support for greater clarity. The link is available below. Read first. Decide calmly. Let the choice come from clarity, not urgency. The meeting may be arranged, but recognition still requires practice. You do not prepare by predicting a face. You prepare by becoming calm enough to observe what is real. Remember the word clear. The first step is calm before interpreting. Do not decide what a meeting means while your body is flooded with fear, excitement, or loneliness. Let the first emotion settle before you call anything destiny. Breathe, pray, return to your normal rhythm. A healthy connection will not disappear because you took time to think, and a manipulative connection will often reveal itself when speed is removed. The second step is look for consistency. Notice what happens after the beautiful words. Notice whether promises become actions. One impressive moment can attract you, but repeated behavior tells you what the connection can actually hold. The third step is examine the fruit. Ask what grows inside you after each interaction. Do you become clearer, kinder, and more responsible? Or do you become distracted, secretive, and unable to focus on the life God already gave you? The fourth step is allow time. Do not force the person into a role before their character has been revealed. Let friendship be friendship. Let a conversation remain a conversation. Meaning becomes safer when it is confirmed instead of imagined. The final step is remain yourself. This is where your preparation becomes visible in daily life. Keep your voice. Keep your standards. Keep your responsibilities. The right connection will not require you to abandon your purpose just to prove that you care. Practical wisdom matters here. Do not send money because someone claims a spiritual bond. Do not leave your work, home, or support system after one emotional conversation. Do not call secrecy, control, or isolation evidence of deep love. Watch how they respond to boundaries. Watch how they handle disappointment. Watch whether respect remains when you do not give them immediate access to your time, body, plans, or resources. Say, I will recognize clearly. You may still fear missing the person God sends, but what is healthy does not depend on one perfect reaction. It allows questions, it allows time, it becomes stronger as truth is revealed. You do not need panic to protect what God arranged. You need presence, patience, and the courage to see what is actually there. The meeting can unfold without you forcing the ending. Clarity will not make every decision easy, but it will keep an old wound from making the decision for you. Picture an ordinary day. You follow your normal routine, enter a familiar place, and begin a conversation that seems simple at first. There are no fireworks. There is no pressure to impress. The other person listens without trying to control the moment, and you notice that your body is not preparing for rejection. You do not shrink. You do not perform. You do not search every sentence for a hidden warning. The conversation leaves you present instead of obsessed. and the quiet afterward feels peaceful instead of punishing. Then time begins to reveal the pattern. Their words remain connected to their actions. Respect continues after the first impression. Small details show that the meeting was not powerful because it was dramatic, but because it was aligned. You may later understand why older doors had to close. The seasons that felt empty were creating room for something that did not require self-betrayal. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are becoming someone who can choose with wisdom. Being a chosen one does not mean every desire is a sign. It means you carry responsibility for the discernment God has been restoring. If mental fog still makes that responsibility difficult, remember the 8-minute practice mentioned earlier. The Genius Switch is available through the link below for those who want practical support for focus and whole brain coordination. Read the information before deciding. Review the guarantee. Consider the claims carefully. The goal is not to purchase from fear, because no product can make God send a person or guarantee a particular outcome. The real cost of waiting is not that you will lose a promised blessing tonight. It is that an unchanged mental pattern can keep shaping tomorrow with the confusion of yesterday. Supporting clarity is one way to interrupt that cycle. But the deepest preparation remains spiritual and personal. You are learning to receive without chasing, to observe without imagining, and to remain open without surrendering your boundaries. The person coming is not a reward for suffering. The meeting is an invitation to live as the wiser version of yourself. And before this message closes, release the need to control how that invitation arrives. Now, release the need to know their name. Release the need to control the date. Let the past remain where God closed it. You do not need to reopen an old door just because the hallway feels quiet. Release the belief that love must wound you to prove its depth. Release the habit of chasing answers from people who only offer confusion. Release the fear that peace means nothing important is happening. Now receive clarity. Receive the patience to observe without rushing. Receive the courage to ask honest questions, and receive the strength to accept the answer revealed through consistent behavior. Receive a connection that does not demand self-betrayal. Hear this in your spirit. What I send will not require you to become less than what I have called you to be. God, heal every part of this chosen one that still feels attracted to chaos. Teach them the difference between peace and emptiness. Help them recognize safety without searching for a hidden storm. Give this chosen one wisdom in every practical decision. Let them test words through actions. Let them honor boundaries without guilt. And let them refuse any connection that only imitates what is sacred. Give them courage to say yes when truth is confirmed. Give them courage to say no when fear is disguised as destiny. The meeting does not have to be chased. What God has arranged can be received with clarity, tested with wisdom, and held without fear. Say, I am ready to recognize. Let that be your declaration, not because you know who is coming, but because you know how you will meet them. Like this message, so it can reach someone who has mistaken delay for rejection. Subscribe and join a community, learning to walk through faith with wisdom, clarity, and responsibility. Share this with one person who keeps meeting the same pattern. Send it to someone who believes God has forgotten them, or someone who needs to learn that peace does not mean the connection is empty. And now let the message become quiet. You do not need another sign tonight. You do not need to force the next chapter. The person coming will not be recognized by intensity alone. You will recognize what the meeting produces: peace, consistency, clarity, and the freedom to become more whole before God. What is meant to be received with wisdom does not need to be held with fear. The final confirmation will grow through truth, not urgency.